Hello fans and friends across the universe, welcome to my YouTube channel From Me to You. My name's Keir Smith. For today's video I wanted to celebrate the 60th anniversary of the Beatles' debut single Love Me Do, backed with PS I Love You. And of course I wanted to post this video yesterday on the 5th of October, but as we all know, life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. And the importance and the release of the Beatles' debut single shouldn't be understated. A, because it's the Beatles, and B, because, well, imagine if the Beatles weren't successful, what would all of us Fabs fans be left with? Love Me Do, PS I Love You catches the Beatles in their infancy as songwriters, and they're probably two of the simplest songs in their entire back catalogue. And you can understand why, at this point, producer George Martin was so keen for the band to record and put out a song called How Do You Do It as their debut single. The Beatles did record How Do You Do It, but they convinced Martin to release Love Me Do. It was a brave move. This was new ground for a band to write and record their own material when, arguably, there was stronger material waiting to be recorded. How Do You Do It was later snapped up by Gerry and the Pacemakers, and it was a #1 hit for them. So, on to Love Me Do. In a 1972 interview, John said, "Paul wrote the main structure of this when he was 16, or even earlier. I think I had something to do with the middle." And in the Many Years From Now book, released in 1997, Paul said, "Love Me Do was completely co-written. It might have been my original idea, but some of them really were 50-50s, and I think that one was. It's a decent song, 3-chord stuff, very simple. John plays the bluesy harmonica riff and he and Paul do the Everly Brothers style harmonising. And Paul takes the lead vocal alone after the arrangement had been made by George Martin that John should come back in with the harmonica part, specifically when the title is sung on the word do of Love Me Do." All in all, it's a charming song and a good start. As many fans will know, across the Beatles singles and albums, the song features 3 different drummers. On early issues of the single and Past Masters Volume 1, Ringo is on drums. But because George Martin wasn't happy with Ringo's recording session drummer Andy White actually features on the album version that you hear on the debut album Please Please Me and the Double Red 1962 to 1966 album. And finally, there's a version of original Beatles drummer Pete Best playing on the Anthology 1 double album. Onto the flip side, PS I Love You, and this was primarily written by Paul around the time of the 1962 trip to Hamburg. And it was Paul's attempt at writing a theme song based on the letter. Again, very simple stuff. So it's Paul on lead vocals here, nice harmonies from John and George, and I especially like the way that they join in on certain words during the song. That's really neat. And again, session drummer Andy White plays the drums here. Ringo is on the track, playing maracas. It's a good little song, and of the 2 songs, I actually prefer PS I Love You. I'm not sure whether it would have made a better A-side in terms of chart success, but I like the song better. Love Me Do was released on the 5th of October 1962 in the UK, and it was a top 20 hit, peaking at number 17. And it was released in America on the 10th of January 1964, and it did go on to top the charts there. I think most of us Beatles fans hold Love Me Do, PS I Love You close to our hearts. It was the first step, which is the most important step. It got the Beatles on the charts, news spread around, and the rest, as they say, is history. And that's it. So, Love Me Do, PS I Love You, 60 years old. How do you rate the single? Which of the 2 is your favourite song? Please leave your thoughts in the comments section below. Please give the video the thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to the channel. There'll be lots more to come. Thanks as always for watching. See you next time.